Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Put a Ring on It, Season 1, the season finale. At least we know we're getting a reunion next week because I am upset about this show. Let's just get on into it because it is 4:42 in the morning, and I just want to get it on done. You already know to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, to relax, to relate, to release, and center yourself and everyone around you. To follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner, and the link to my social medias is in the description boxes below. Cause I'm so over it. So we see each person is sitting around with Dr. Nicole, and y'all have a choice to either break up or put a ring on us. I want y'all to do this for me. I want the men to all go together and look at rings. I want the women to all go together to look at dresses or whatever. And I want all of y'all to think about if you want to be with this person for the rest of your life while y'all picking out rings and wedding dresses. I'm looking like, girl, okay, that's fine. We then see Ash in Hollywood at the house, chit-chatting. He brings up how he wished they had a few more weeks to do things because, again, he wants to show her how much he's changed because they had that big old blowout last time. And, he knows that put a whole strain on the relationship. He's like, I want her to know that I really love her and I want to be with her forever. I don't want to be with nobody else but her. I'm like, now that's what you want, but I'm going to let that be too. And she explains to him that, one, because his issue was, you out here going on dates or whatever. And that's what the argument was about. And she explained, like, me going on dates, didn't mean anything. Like, if I walk away from you in this relationship, it will be solely based on what you have done to me, not based on who I like or anything else going on besides that and that alone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It would never be based on any dates I went on. I was like, well, okay. He do, like, I don't want you to ever feel like I don't love you or like I don't care about you. Like, I never want you to feel like I would intentionally hurt you, okay? I don't want to be without you, girl. And while I feel like that's a real good old talk, it's been 9 years. It's been 9 whole years. Okay. Anyway, so the men go ring shopping. Where they at? Okay. Boom. They ring shopping and whatnot. Okay. Mike is still saying, like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Should I get engaged? Should I not get engaged? I don't know what to do, whatever. But I want to be the man that Shay wants me to be. I'm like, really, Michael? Anyway, Hollywood brings up how he wants to get married and be married forever. He didn't want to get married to be divorced. He wants to be a one and done or whatever. And that he is really, really ready this time. Because this will be the third time that they have gotten engaged or he's proposed to her in one way or the other. And I'm like, again, it's been 9 years, okay? And Vince said he looking for rings. It made him feel good, okay? It made him feel like, saying, he doing the right thing or whatnot. And they each look at a ring that they feel like their girl would like. I was like, girl, whatever. So we do see Ashley talking to Dr. Nicole or whatever. Just mainly about that she is struggling on what she should do. I don't know what I want to do or whatever. It's like, leaving or staying and leaving has me feeling free but also sad too. Free of leaving because, again, I'll be free from this craziness that we go through all the time, but I feel sad, you know what I'm saying, if he's no longer in my life being in Hollywood. And then Dr. Nicole said, well, how do you feel about Kwame? Like, what do you feel like when you're with him? Like when I'm with him and I'm in that moment, like it just feels really, really good. And when I'm not with him, I feel like I want to be back in that moment. I'm looking like, girl, if that ain't how you feel with Hollywood, even if you don't be with Kwame, you don't need to be with Hollywood. But that's your decision or whatever, okay? But she's like, I want to make a decision based on myself, not on what Hollywood would want, not on what Kwame would want. I want it to be solely what I want, and that's what my decision has to be, okay? Now, we do see Vince talking to Tamika Daddy on a little fishing trip. I didn't care too much. He just asked Daddy, does he have his permission to marry her? He said, you love my daughter, and my daughter loves you, so yes, you have my blessing. I'm like, whatever. Now, there was also a scene with Michael talking to Dr. Nicole. I didn't listen. I didn't listen at all. I heard one little piece if he needs to let go of whatever he don't think is positive, like let go of the negativity. But I really wasn't listening at all. I don't know why I wasn't either. I was uninterested. I really, really was. So we then see that Ashley say, she would not feel right if she did not have another conversation with Kwame. Okay, so her and Kwame have another little meeting, little date or whatnot. She came with her. Look, Ashley had on her that was a fuck me dress. I don't care what nobody say. That was I want you to see how good I look coming and going or whatnot. Okay, and Kwame was definitely noticing how great she looked in her little dress and whatnot. Okay, but anyway, like I just would not have felt right leaving things, unfinished or just not having some kind of additional conversation with Kwame or whatever. And she tells him that, we need to enjoy this day. Okay, we should enjoy this day because the more time I spend with you, it makes it harder for me not to want to get closer to you. And he said, if you, well, I'm gonna get closer too, so they're gonna want to get closer to each other or whatnot. So it's like, you know what? I just need you to know, I think he asked like, well, do you want me to continue to pursue you? And it's like, well, I don't want to make any demands on what you do or don't do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still making decisions on my end, so I don't want you to pursue me right now. Okay, not right now, whatever. He like, well, I respect her decision, but I really wish she would just break up with old boy and like be with me. And I agree. Even if she don't pick Kwame, I don't see her in Hollywood's relationship as a positive one. Even if they have 9 years of good memories, something about their relationship seems like it's past its course, but neither of them want to let it go. This is based on the time they put into it. It's like you spend your whole life paying off a house, and even if there are cracks and breaks and things wrong with the house, and even though you can move, it's a brand new house that you can afford right next door. It's all brand new and stuff. You don't want to leave because you didn't put all the goodness in this other house that's kind of broken down. So that's what I see. Their relationship has these little cracks in it, and they just don't want to buy the new house next door. Anyway, he do ask her, Kwame does, if he can have a kiss goodbye. And she was like, what? What did you? No. He said, well, I had to ask. So they do hug and embrace or whatever. And she brings up how, if she was single, she would definitely want to date him and be in a relationship with Kwame again, but I can't do that right now. And again, they hug and they go their separate ways. He was like, I'm upset, but I have to respect what she wants. I was like, Anyway, so we then see the ladies go dress shopping. Boom, pow, pow. I could not get a whole look at shade dress. I also didn't care too much of shade dress because it was the same material that we see in the front. And both Tamika and Ashley both said they knew in some kind of way she would get a short dress. She is always wearing some short. She really, really is. I said that in the beginning of the episode when they were all getting up to leave from meeting with Dr. Nicole. I'm like, Shay's skirt is really short. Got her coochie out. Anyway, so they all look great in their dresses. I will say I did not like Shay's dress, the front of it. It looked like her boobs are honeycombs. And I don't know if that was supposed to be on purpose or not. I loved Tamika's dress. And I liked Ashley's dress more without the long train to it or whatever. But again, these are the dresses they tried on. We're not going to see them get married again because again, this is just that they will get engaged. But again, they at least have saw some dresses or whatever. We know Ashley brings up how, she already had a wedding dress and she thought that trying on new wedding dresses would make her feel some kind of way. But it did not, okay? But again, those were the dresses they tried on, okay? Again, I'm moving right on through this episode to get to the Grand Resistance, okay? So we then see Tamika and Vince on the whole little picnic. Okay, little picnic. This is the funny part. I completely was fast forwarding through this. Because I'm looking like, oh, Lord, is they going to be sitting here talking about, what could be, what should be? Can we get to the who going to marry or propose or not to whoever? And then when I heard him say, let's pray. I'm like, pray for what? What y'all praying at a picnic for? Okay. Anyway, they discussed the things that has happened with them and whatnot, how they've had these ups and downs and how they have grown so much over these last few weeks as a couple and how they have gotten better as a couple and better as individuals. And I was like, have y'all? Are you sure? Okay. And they both bring up how they want to make sure they don't go backwards. They both have to hold themselves accountable for what not to do to go backwards in this relationship. I guess that's fine. He then say, okay, let us pray. Oh God, Jesus, Lord and Christ, I thank you for bringing this, this wonderful, great, enthusiastic, talented, beautiful, he's giving all these compliments to her. She's like, He then gets on one knee. Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, what's the name of the show, Tamika? What do you think he doing at this nice little picnic with daisies and some daisies? Those what are sunflowers? With the sunflower flowers sitting around or whatever. What do you think he doing? He is on one knee holding a box. Oh my God! I'm like, he's proposing. Okay, come on, get a clue. Anyway. And he said, I'm asking you to marry me. And he's crying or whatever. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God, you got me the pearl ring. He said at the jewelry store that she would have always wanted him to propose with a pearl ring. She did not want like a diamond. I'm like, well, if that's what she wanted, that's fine. I'm mad that he did not, have clean nails. I think I see dirt under his nails. But again, I'm going to leave that be. Again, she crying, he crying. She said yes and whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay. And now they are engaged. Which to me is proof, that toxic ass relationships can make it to marriage or whatever, or at least make it to engagements. Because in my opinion, they have not argued for long enough to be thinking about marriage. It's the weirdest thing that people just want to be married and not realize y'all have only been on this show for, let's say, 6 weeks. Y'all were just arguing last week. Now y'all want to get engaged, girl, but let's hope they take like a year to be married. Like, they need to have a whole year of just them just not arguing, fussing, and fighting, and then get married. Like, take the steps y'all have learned here, apply them before y'all get married. Because I'm like, girl, I'll just whatever. And we see, her parents are there and his parents are there, and oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, the scenery of it all was amazing, the thought process of it all was amazing. But had I not seen them fussing like cats and dogs each week about something, I would be like, oh, okay. But it's like, again, they haven't not argued. Y'all engaged now? And y'all was arguing before the show. I'm gonna leave that be. So we then have Michael and Shay, who are on some balcony, rooftop, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He like, I was so blocked off when we got here. You know what I'm saying? I was just so closed off to whatever you want to do. I didn't care, whatever. But this process has broken down my walls, okay? And I love you. And I realized I had to stop looking at what was wrong or whatever, and I'm looking like, what the fuck is going on here? And when he got on one knee to propose, at this moment, I said, this show is a crock of bullshit, okay? A whole crock of bullshit on my television, on my computer, in my throat, because I have to talk about it. Look, she said yes. Okay, where's the ring at? She said yeah, it was a beautiful ring or whatnot. But my point is, these two have had to plan this shit from before being on the show. Because ain't no way on God's green earth that he was gung-ho against marriage. she was gung-ho against his son living with them. Now all of a sudden, they moved past all that. I love your son. I've known you for 6 years. I have never wanted to love your son or have any kind of connection to your son. But oh, now all of a sudden, I can be a stepmother, a bonus mom to your kid. Oh, not girl. Miss me with the bullshit. I feel like Michael and Shay had to be fake and fugazi on some bullshit all episodes, all the whole time long. Because ain't no way, not on God's green earth. But Michael and Shay are engaged to be married. Anyway, we then have Ashley and Hollywood, who are sitting around at a whole little dinner and whatnot in some big ass king and queen chairs. I want them chairs from my house. Anyway, not the style, but I'm looking like it'd be cute to have really huge chairs. So they had dinner, chit and chatting or whatever, and she tells him how she had noticed a change in him. I'm like, since the other day, but I'm gonna let that be. She's in a change in him. You know what I'm saying? And she just hopes that the change he made within this process was not just to sway her decision to stay with him. I'm like, even if he said it isn't, it was. Okay, let's just say that it was. He like, no, I beg him, saying I ain't do that for that, and saying I'm here to be different for you, or whatever. He like, I just want you to know how much I care for you. Okay, I messed up our first engagement or whatever, and now I'm just here for you. It's gonna be me and you or whatever, and I want you to know that I want you to marry me. And I'm like, really? He got down on one knee and proposed with the whole athlete "Will You Marry Me" light show because he's Hollywood or whatnot. And she's like, oh my God, yes. I said, what? Now this is the ring. Where's the ring? Well, there's the ring that he got her. And I see his nails is clean. He went and got a whole manicure. Anyway, so he proposed. She said yes. She then said she said yes because one, she does love him, but she said yes based on the potential he has. I was like, Ashley, I know you watch my videos because I've seen you comments in the comment section. Ashley, I'm knocking on the computer screen for you to see me. If after 9 years he has not shown you he had potential before this point, it ain't gonna be there, baby. I really wanted her to not be with him because I feel like something within him is still that same toxicness, that same egoness that she didn't like. And I'm like, I hope he changed. I really do hope he changed for the better, because if not, it's going to be sad that she's going to continue to waste more time. Like with Shay and Michael, with Tamika and Vince, they had not been together. They've been like, 2 years in, a year and a half in. That's nothing. Okay, that's 2 drops in the bucket. But investing 9 years and to stay in it, to invest, let's say, 3 more, and he the same old Hollywood, and you've then wasted 11 years. I was very upset. I was like, the only positive ending to this whole show is that Kwame is single somewhere out here in these streets. But I was like, not that you ever root for someone to be single, or you root for anyone to not end up with who they want to be with, but it just felt like the whole time Ashley understood, like Hollywood, something about him ain't right, he ain't gonna change it or whatnot, but they gonna get engaged. And Michael and Shay, she was like, your kid living with us is a deal breaker or whatever, and you engaged with that woman? And I'm like, what? And then Tamika and Vince had been fussing for 2 years over shit he did 2 years ago, and y'all are engaged? Girl, I can't. We'll see what happens in the reunion that comes on next week. And then in the reunion, they have Ulysses and old girl who was on the first 2 episodes. I'm like, why? They was on for 2 episodes. Girl, if this show gets a season 2, I need them to think about shit differently. Again, not that we want people to break up, not that, but I just felt like it wasn't realistic that these couples all stay together. But how do we not know that Ashley didn't say yes just to not embarrass Hollywood on national television? Like, I need to know, now that they're together at the reunion, are y'all together in real life today? Anyway, that was it. I was like, they're all engaged now? Anyway, hey Kwame. Peace.